Ever pondered the consequences if all the ice on Earth were to melt? Let's delve into that thought for a moment. Our planet, the third rock from the sun, is not just a sphere of land and water, it's also a vast, icy wilderness. From the frosty peaks of the Himalayas to the colossal icebergs drifting in the polar oceans, from the thick glacial ice sheets of Greenland to the expansive frozen tundra of Antarctica, ice is a significant component of Earth's surface. It's hard to fathom, but the icy landscapes cover about 10% of the land on our planet, and the polar ice caps and glaciers lock away nearly 70% of the world's fresh water. Now let's consider a hypothetical scenario. What if all this ice melted? What if the colossal glaciers, the ice sheets, the frosty peaks all turned into water? Imagine a world where all that ice turns into water. Unthinkable, isn't it? But before we dive into the consequences, what could possibly cause all the ice on Earth to melt? Well, let's start with the most significant contributor: global warming. This is largely caused by human activities such as burning fossil fuels and deforestation, which release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun, causing the Earth's average temperature to rise, a process known as the greenhouse effect. Climate change, a side effect of global warming, exacerbates the problem. It leads to shifts in weather patterns, causing more frequent and intense heat waves that speed up ice melt. But it's not all about the atmosphere. Ocean currents also play a role. Warmer ocean waters can erode ice from underneath, while volcanic activity can cause localized melting. It's a complex web of factors, each feeding into the other, causing a domino effect of ice melt. The causes are many, but the common thread is human activity and its profound impact on the planet's climate. Now let's delve into the catastrophic effects if all the ice on Earth were to melt. The most immediate and noticeable impact would be the rise in global sea levels. Imagine our beautiful coastal cities, New York, Venice, Sydney, and many more, submerged underwater. The increase in sea levels would not be a matter of a few inches. We're talking about an astounding 200 feet increase. This would result in the displacement of hundreds of millions of people who call these coastal regions their home. But let's not stop there. The loss of ice would also lead to drastic changes in ocean currents. You see, these currents are driven by differences in temperature and salt concentration. As the ice melts, fresh water would dilute the salty seawater, disrupting these natural pathways. This could lead to shifts in climate patterns, potentially making certain regions unlivably hot or unbearably cold. The melting of ice would also mean the loss of crucial habitats. The Arctic and Antarctic regions house a diverse array of life, both on land and in the sea. Seals, penguins, polar bears, and countless other species would lose their homes, placing them at the brink of extinction. And then there's the carbon. Ice, especially permafrost, traps huge amounts of carbon dioxide and methane. As the ice melts, these gases would be released into the atmosphere, accelerating the rate of global warming and climate change. This could lead to more extreme weather conditions, such as stronger hurricanes and more severe droughts. Lastly, the social and economic implications are staggering. Infrastructure would need to be rebuilt, economies would be disrupted, cultures with deep ties to their lands would be forever altered. The cost of such a scenario is hard to fathom, both in monetary terms and in terms of human suffering. The effects would be devastating, reshaping the world as we know it. The thought of all the ice on Earth melting is indeed a grim one. We've journeyed through the causes: overconsumption, deforestation, pollution, and the staggering consequences: rising sea levels, displaced populations, loss of biodiversity. The power to change this narrative lies in our hands. Let's commit to reducing our carbon footprint, supporting sustainable practices, and advocating for climate policies. While this scenario might seem like a distant possibility, it underscores the urgent need to address climate change. The future of our planet depends on the choices we make today.